Good morning, everyone. Hello, welcome to Left Undone, Incomplete Investigations. I'm Kathryn. How are you all? I know it's been a long time since I've done my show. It's going to be a little echoey here because I'm back in my office and I have to do something about this office to get better sound. Good morning, Ruby, Stephanie, Moonlight View. Hi, everybody. Candalee, how are you guys? And Flame Lily. So, we did our members only live last night for the first time in forever. Hi there. And it was fun. You know, we haven't had a happy hour in a long time. I know there's a lot of other channels that do Friday, but I think my Friday, sorry, Percy's in here. I have no idea what he's going to do. So, anyway, my Friday happy hour, I think it's early enough to where you guys can make it, because I know there's a lot of other shows that get a lot of people on Friday night. I'm kind of looking because I have two screens up and I switched my setup a little bit. I just got my office done and they enclosed this. This was all open before, but it still needs to be painted because the contractor kind of screwed me. He gave me a quote for everything, and at the end, it gave me another bill for $800 to get painted. So I said, cancel the painter. I can go to Home Depot. So wish me luck. It still has plastic on the windows, so I think I'll be okay. So that's that. If you are new here, please say hi in the chat. I think my mother is actually watching. She had no idea what my show was about. So hi, Mom. I put it on in her room for her. We'll see. She won't be able to answer back because she won't be in the chat. Anyway, how's everybody? This is September 11th, 2021. 20 years ago was 9/11. I can't believe it was 20 years ago. Leighton had mentioned that he was only 4 years old at the time, and he would love to hear other people's stories. So I thought I would tell a little bit about where I was that day on September 11th, 2001. I was actually in nursing school, and I got up that morning to check. I always check my email when I get up in the morning, and I'm on the West Coast, right? So this happened on the East Coast. And I got up in the morning and looked at my email, and one of my friends had emailed and said, turn on the TV. Everyone turn on the TV, because we had a group email going on, Percy. And so I turned on the TV. I ran out there. My husband was out there, and I saw the second plane hit the tower. And it was so weird because my kids were little. Michael was 3. My youngest was 3. My daughter was 8. My other son was 10, and the other one was 12. So I'd love to hear what their memories are about it. I haven't asked them lately, but I didn't let them go to school. But I left to go to nursing school, and I got about 4 miles away to head to school because it was a clinical day. And I heard about the third plane. So I turned around and went home. Oh, and it was just an unbelievable day. Just unbelievable, terrible. And it hit home because I got on the phone really fast and started calling my friends. Remember, I was a flight attendant for America West Airlines back in the day. And I think by that time they had merged with US Air. So US Air did not have a flight that was taken down. But when I went to work for United Airlines in 2015 for a year, I thought I could do both nursing and flying, but it didn't work out, so I didn't stay. I stayed only about a year. I was based in San Francisco, and I heard a lot of stories from people I flew with that knew they used their coworkers. They were their coworkers at United, the flights, and it was just sad. And when we were flying, you know, they would talk about these people and how they knew them personally, and it was just really like eye-opening. Like, we're flying on this plane right now, and this literally happened to people while they were just doing their job. And then in Boston, the United Airlines gate that plane went out of has a big United States flag there, and it's kind of memorialized. I had pulled into that gate before, and they're like, this is the gate from 9/11. So it was really just, you know, going to work at United Airlines was like, oh my gosh. And then if you haven't been to the 9/11 memorial. My hair keeps blowing in my face. Let me turn that fan off. It's probably making it better. I'll probably just be hot. If you haven't been to the 9/11 Memorial Museum, not just the outside where the fountain is, but go to the museum. It is like, my son and I went, and you can listen to the flight attendant calling, asking for help. You can listen to her voice talking about what's going on the plane. There's just so much artifact. The fire trucks, the escalator stairs from the World Trade Center, just all of that. It's really just brings it home, like, oh my gosh, you know, I was born in 1964. The only real like war type thing I remember was when watching TV when the veterans came home from Vietnam. And then of course we've had our lifelong, you know, Middle East stuff going on, but it was horrible. It was a terrifying day. You're right, Dells, you are so right. So, I'm back, and I hope you guys are all doing good. I took a break. Obviously, we had this construction going on for a little bit. Okay, hold on, Lulu. No, you're staying in if she wants to come in. Come on in, come on. Okay, everybody go lay down. We had this construction going on. I had some other things. I started my podcast. I don't know if you guys have listened to it. I did put up the audio of it. It's kind of weird. It's not my normal video. I did put up the audio of it here on Left Undone. But I'm going to go all the way deep into this whole story, the background information that I've gotten from people about the cult, and the whole Lori Vallow, Chad Daybell story, bit by bit. So I started with Lori's first marriage. Well, started with Lori going to high school, being a cheerleader, and all that stuff, and then marrying Nelson Yanes, and then William Lagoya, and what she said in the records, like her documents of what she was accusing William of. It's as dramatic as Lori, you can imagine Lori to be. And I'm gonna make my house cooler. Mom, sorry, I'm gonna make you cold because it's hot with the lights and stuff in this room. Okay. So that is up and running. Thank you, Dee Dee, appreciate it. It's up and running. I'm almost done with episode 2. I'm gonna hope to put it up today because I want to start dropping them every weekend, one per week. And I really appreciate that you guys are listening to it and give me feedback. If you're whatever platform you're watching on it, give it 5 stars if you don't mind, because that'll get it put out there more as suggested. And really interesting to do the podcast because when I was doing this show, as you know, it was as things were happening. So it was missing children, it was a couple in Hawaii getting arrested, it was, you know, Lori being extradited back to Idaho. It was everything as it happens. Lori with her smirk on her face as she walked through the court. It was as things were happening, you know. So now it's kind of interesting to go back and put the whole story together from the beginning, who Lori was, who Chad was, how they got involved in all this. Lori had some really, really deep spiritual beliefs that she was very special. And she had those beliefs well before she ever met Chad, from what I'm reading, you know. For example, she told Joe Ryan that God told her she was going to be on the Wheel of Fortune. You know? So Lori was very sucked in to the idea that she was that God or that being or that special or had this face-to-face relationship with God. Oh, hi, Brittany. Welcome. Your first live here. I'm trying to watch the chat, too, while I talk, because I'm like, blah, blah, blah. I haven't been here in a while. First live. Hope is all with everyone. Thank you, Brittany. Nice to see you. And everybody else that's new, please say hello. You're welcome to pipe in if you would like and say whatever you want. I do run my lives a little bit different than a lot of people. I really try to pay attention to the chat. I feel like the live stream is the time for us to interact. You know, I can make video after video and go back and read comments, but I really enjoy hearing what you guys all have to say. Dublin, Ireland. Welcome, Erin and Lexi from Dublin, Ireland. I love that people all over the world watch too. I just think that's awesome. Now they're passed out on the futon. I hope they'll stay there. I'm having still my first cup of coffee of the day. And this is my motto because I get my nose into things that don't belong. I still do it, even with my motto of not my circus, not my monkeys. So there's a lot going on. I know that Lori and Chad had court this week. Lori's still incompetent. Oh, Susie, you are so sweet. Thank you very much. Thank you, Susie, for the super chat. So glad you're here, Kathy and everyone. Yes, I'm so glad to be back here, and I'm back on track with my live streams and to be here with all of you. It's so nice to see you, and I really appreciate all of you that have been here since, you know, stuck around when I have my moments of kind of going silent when things are really busy, and then, you know, I pop back on. I'm not going anywhere permanently unless, you know, God forbid. Hello, ID Me, how are you? And, okay. Yeah, Lori had major delusions. Yeah, right. She had delusions of grandeur that she was, you know. So when Chad told her she was part of 144,000, she's like, oh, of course I am. I'm Lori. Of course I am. I'm, you know, even a friend from high school described her as a Barbie. And I think Lori was really good at faking a lot to people of being this perfect person, really. When in fact she was just not. She was manipulative. She just was not a good person, no matter what anybody says. Let's see. Hello, everyone coming in. Relax and have a seat and listen to our wonderful host. Thank you, Candidly. I appreciate that so much. So much. Okay, so, Ruby also is across the pond in Liverpool, and she is one of my mods. Thank you, Ruby. Thank you to all my mods. I really appreciate you guys that are here. I appreciate all of you, but I appreciate you that are here right now. All my mods are great, and I try to hope they don't have to feel obligated to be here every single time. So, Lori, I'm really digging deep on her and her divorce. Oh, well, not really her divorce with Joe Ryan, because things didn't get crazy until she really wanted to get full custody of her kids, you know. And so episode 2 on the podcast goes all into that. Her pageant, her Wheel of Fortune, you know, Alex attacking Joe Ryan, all of that. So, also, I haven't been that up to date on the Summer Wells case. I know Summer hasn't been found, but I do know that there is a lot of, it's a shitstorm, really, you know, not just her family and what happened, but on YouTube. So I'm kind of laying back because I always get myself in trouble and I don't want to get involved. But I'm watching from other channels and stuff. I watch Trisha, and she's talked about it quite a bit on Web Sleuths. And Michael Vaughn, the little boy up in Idaho, I haven't heard any updates on him being found or any news or any arrests or anything like that. Right, Aaron and Lexi, I think Lori is, yeah, oh, that's Ray, Ruby Ray, she was answering this. She is so evil, not mad evil. Right, I agree. And I mean, who knows what goes on in her head, but I believe that Lori is not just incompetent, because I believe she knew exactly what she was doing. If she's incompetent, she's been incompetent her whole life, because she really has had these delusions of grandeur that she is somebody very, very above all of us. She's a god. She was in charge of the 144,000. Lisa, you don't have to get involved with Summer's case. There are so many. They're doing it right now. Yeah, Summer's case, I mean, if I want views, I need to get involved in Summer's case, but it's not that important to me to get the views. There's everybody's covering it. One thing that I prefer to do is try to find cases that people aren't covering. I mean, obviously, I'm covering Lori Vallow, Chad Daybell because that's where I started, really, my channel with. And I'm going to keep covering that for forever, clearly forever. I don't think court is going to happen anytime soon. So we'll see what happens with all of that. But I'm definitely covering that one till there's nothing left to cover. And I don't think there'll ever be nothing left to cover. So yeah, I agree, Ruby. I think Summer's getting lost in the drama. I mean, I clearly understand that these women were victims and stuff, but at this point, yes, that's a good point that Dawn is that kind of person. But at this point now we know. And that's how I felt. I felt like, okay, now let's go back to Summer. We know these women were victims. Let that be handled through the courts, through the law, through whatever has to happen, and let's worry about Summer. She's a child. She's 5 years old. She's missing, and we need her to be the focus again. That's my opinion. As for Summer, Trish and Donna, Sweetie Pie, yeah, they're all following it. Absolutely. It's a strange mix: murder, money, and lust. Can't write this stuff. And Rita, yeah, he hasn't gotten any new coverage. I know they've been having like, there's a reward. I think it's up to $35,000. Other than that, it's just silent. And the police department there hasn't had a press conference anytime lately, have they? And of course, a lot of people are poking at the parents on that one too. And I always hesitate on that, just like I did with the West case. I didn't want to poke at the parents, you know? And if you are new and you're not subscribed, it'd be great if you could hit the subscribe button. And we do have a membership. Membership is kind of low-key. It's $1.99 a month, and you do get access to our Discord, where we talk about cases and the Vallow case. I don't know if you can hear them. They're playing dog noises. And that's fun. And then my happy hour as well. Oh, here's a show for you to watch on Hulu. Only Murder in the Building. Only Murder in the Building, I think is the name of it. I started watching it this week. Okay, so it has Selena Gomez. Oh my gosh. Okay. Hey Siri. Who are the actors in the Hulu show Only Murder in the Building? Steve Martin. And
Only Murders in the Building features Steve Martin, Martin Short, Selena Gomez, and others.
There you go. Steve Martin, Martin Short, Selena Gomez. And it's... So these people all live in a building in New York, and there's a death, and the cops are like, oh no, it's suicide, because you know that's how it goes, and that's where we are like that's not suicide. And they start a podcast, and it's so funny because at one scene they're in their closet podcasting. I'm like, oh, that's where I record my podcast because I don't have this echo in there. And then it's good. And then the one cop says to them, oh, what true crime podcast do you all watch? You know, so it's interesting. And it's funny. And it's comedy, but they use foul language and stuff. But I'm like, oh my God, oh, this is us. This is us. What true crime I'm suspicious. That isn't suicide. That looks like murder to me. Let's start a podcast. Yeah, it is. And I think I'm on episode 3. Oops. Wait, hold on. Click and then it moves. I was given a timeout one last night. Oh, because I was complaining about them going on and on about Don and his stepsister and taking the spotlight off Summer. Oh, you got timed out for that? But it's true. I mean, it's true. It's the Don and sister show now. And clearly these women, I have not a problem with them coming forward at all. And I have not a problem with them saying, you know, this is what who Don is or was or is, and maybe want to look at this angle with Summer. But after that, go get your counselor, go to therapy. That's where you need to do, that's where you need to do the work. You know, this public crazy YouTube social media platform is not a healthy place to do this on. That's just my opinion. And the parents may be or are victims here too. They should be treated with respect until there's any evidence otherwise. And again, I agree. You know, just because they are rotten, even rotten people can have things happen to them. And, you know, even especially rotten people. I mean, some people that have a bad history and bad, you know, somebody could have been aiming at them and took their kid. So they truly, based on their lifestyle, could be a victim, or not based on their lifestyle. We just don't know. We don't know. And we can't accuse them flat out if we don't know. That's it. Jeannie came forward because she was afraid it happened to Summer. Yeah, I understand that. I think that's smart, that part. But at this point, okay, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to sound cold to that at all, because I'm not. It's a serious, I mean, life-altering, you know, for the rest of her life. I'm sure Jeannie's been affected. But, again, that was good. She spoke up, she came forward, and now let the police take that angle and see if it means anything. Yeah, so, these people live a different lifestyle doesn't mean they don't love their kids. Exactly. And so you got to remember, this is a cultural thing as well. Not just because it's in the United States doesn't mean we don't have different cultures here. And we have to be culturally sensitive. There are people they're hillbillies, you guys. I mean, I guess that's the word, slang word for it. But they're not Real Housewives of Orange County, you know. They're not Real Housewives of New York. They're not, I don't know. I was going to say the Cosbys. I don't want to say that one. They're just not. So we have to be a little bit culturally sensitive to what their lifestyle is. And, you know, they got barefoot kids running around dirty, and they live, you know, all piled up on top of each other, and their house isn't, you know, doesn't have the white picket fence and all that. But that's their norm. That's how they were raised, and that's what they know as normal. Does anyone know when Monkey was seen after he went to the neighbor's house? No, I am confused about that a little bit, because a couple neighbors, or one neighbor or two neighbors, saw him walking back towards his house, and they closed their door, and that was it. Let's see, Stephanie. Jeannie was not worried about Summer when she was born. Jeannie waited till Summer was 5 and went missing. I mean, you know, that's true too. You know, I mean, where you could have spoken up. I mean, that's just another angle to look at for sure. You know, you saw that Dawn had a little girl. Did you think that something might happen to her eventually? I don't know. But I know for stuff like this, it's really hard to talk. So she may have never been comfortable enough until something tragic happened. Small channel Nita's World is local to Wells. She talked nitty gritty of sex trafficking right there. Interesting. So she's local in that area. I mean, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happened either. And again, maybe she was sold to them. Maybe she was abducted and they had no clue. My mind wanders back to Monkey. He did not vanish into air like a puff of smoke. His mom and dad must be devastated. Like yesterday it rained. That must have been a bad time. Yeah. I mean, you know, there are children that are abducted that are found eventually, and all we can hope for, honestly, is that he's with somebody that was just crazy desperate to have a child and decided to keep him, and is just one of those crazy people like the ones that come and steal a baby from the hospital, and that he'll be found and not murdered, you know, or tormented or tortured or bothered. Oh, Ivy Me, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for becoming a Left Undone YouTube member. I will put the Discord link in the members only on the community page later, so you can come in. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Okay. Ruby needs to revote. Go for it, Ruby. You're fine. Zero news on Monkey in Boise. You guys, why don't you just take a nap? They have their own show going on over there. They're out of control. Of course they are. They do this when I'm trying to work too, and I'm like, shh, on the phone. So, okay, so those two things. Waiting next week will be Barry Morphew's appearance. Isn't it September 17th? Is it what day does Barry Morphew go back? I'm pretty sure it's this week, coming up. But the 17th would be a Saturday. What's sad is I would have taken the child in and called the mom as he wasn't dressed for outside playing. Right, wasn't he one of his boxers? Oh, interesting, Puffin Magic. Jeannie did not know that summer existed. Really interesting. Had no idea. Ah, Stephanie, welcome back. You were with us before, right? Thank you. Really appreciate it. We talk a lot in Discord, you guys. Like, it's a good community, and we really do talk about the cases quite a bit. A lot of people post, like, the brand new Justin Lum stuff or anything that comes out or a document. So it's a good place to be. Facebook has gotten so weird. I have stepped kind of away from Facebook groups because it's just more drama and trolls, and you get put in Facebook jail and all kinds of stuff. Thank you for this super sticker, IB Me. Really appreciate it. I told you guys that my cat has a tumor. It's like this big. And so I took him to the vet the other day, and it was $1,000. And they did x-ray, and we're waiting to see if it's spread. If it's not spread, they want to do $3,000 surgery on him. Like, oh God. But if it's spread, they're like, no. So I'm like, okay, so if it's spread, we're putting him on hospice. If it hasn't, he's not in pain. He's eating, he's drinking. He's acting normal, but he's lost 4 pounds. So he went from 18 pounds to 14 pounds. So that was the one thing I'd mentioned earlier that went on this week. So poor Zig. You guys have met Zig. He's such a good cat. I know, Lisa. $1,000 for what? That's what I said. So look at the invoice. I was like, I mean, they were telling me prices as we went along, and I was like, okay. And then at the end, she gives me my bill. I'm like, what? Let's see. Invoice. Okay. Here we go. Biannual exam, $77. Okay, they trimmed his nails for free. Aspirate masses and stain, $75. Custom feline profile 13/7 arc, $234. Oh, I think that was a X-ray. Urinary analysis, $25. Venipuncture, medical waste, $18. So it goes on, you know. Radiographs, multiple views, $389. Covina injection antibiotic, $87. And then they had to send it to radiology because they couldn't read it, the x-ray, so that was $87 or $81. Anyways, yeah. Radiology tech fee, $17. I mean, and he's a mutt. No, I'm just kidding. That's not nice. I never joined. Now I've joined you. Also, I've joined a show called Morning Invest with Clayton Morris. Another great show. Not just about another great show, just not about crime. Oh, interesting. Okay. I like other shows too. I'll check it out. Thank you. And you guys are allowed to mention, I'm not like that. Some of the channels are like, don't talk about another creator in the chat. Don't do it. I'm fine with it. You guys can mention other creators if you think there's good channels out there. If you like them, I'm fine with that. I know, and sometimes it can cause controversy, but I don't care. I don't think it does in my channel. You guys are just nice, grown-up, mature community. I know, back in Orange County, I have a vet. They don't make you can't go in there for appointments at all, but they're really reasonable priced. But it's a 2 to 3 hour drive to get there. But I'm thinking maybe I should take them down there if they want to do the surgery and and see what they would charge me. Because years ago, my little dog Sadie needed emergency surgery, and it was like the middle of the night, and so I took her to an emergency vet, and they're like, yes, she needs immediate surgery right now, $6,000. And I'm like, she was 9, and I was like, oh my God, no. Sorry, but no. 6,000, what you can do with 6,000? Like, no. And I thought, I'm gonna go to my vet in the morning because I know they're reasonable, and you just have to walk in. And there's always a super long wait, but it's worth it, you know, as far as time goes and money goes. And so I put her in a crate, and I'm like, please don't die tonight. And she was still alive the next morning. I picked her up, I took her to that vet, and they're like, we'll do emergency surgery right now on her for $800. I'm like, sounds much more reasonable. And so they did. And so, yeah, that was better. So, you know, I think some places are really overpriced. I think out here in the desert is overpriced for whatever reason, you know, like Quinta's right there, Palm Springs, everything. I just think that there's a lot of people out here with money, and they rack up the prices, you know. Yes, thank you, Ruby. Yeah, the vet I went to in Orange County I just left Orange County. It's a lie. I lived in Orange County since 1980, and then in 2018? Yeah, in 2018 I moved to Oregon, and then I moved back here in 2020, but I'm out inland now, in the desert, in the hot 100 million degrees desert. And that's why, like, this thing to paint, $865? Are you kidding me? Like, to frame it, because you can see it's like framed like right here because it was all open, and then it goes up because these are 10-foot ceilings. To frame it and to put this door on, they gave me a quote to put barn doors of $5,000, and I was like, no. So then it comes back, he goes, well, what if we frame it and put French doors on? I'm like, if it's cheaper, sure. So it gives me a quote of $3,700. Excuse me, gosh. He gives me a quote of $3,700. And I was like, okay, for the whole project, yeah, okay. So I'm like, okay, get started, whatever, do it. So I give him his $1,000 deposit. They got started. Literally, the whole thing probably took a total of 6 hours. Like, the framer came in and was done in 2 hours. The drywall guy was probably here for 3 hours. The door people were probably here for 2.5 hours. I'm not even kidding you. Like, 6 to 8 hours, the whole project. And I'm like, okay, how much do I owe you? And he's my neighbor too. So I said, how much do I owe you? And hi, if you're watching. And he's like, oh, it's in the car. So he goes and brings it in, and the remainder of the bill was $3,100. So the price went to $4,100. So I was like, oh, all right, a little bit higher than the 37, fine. And then he pulls out another one. He's like, oh, and the painter will be here tomorrow, and here's his invoice of $863. And I was like, I told you I didn't want to do a $5,000 project. Gosh, so I'm kind of mad about that. Hello, Loose Can, how are you? I use 1.5 hours. Are you talking about that, Sunshine? No. There's nothing out there. Be quiet. I use Percy, shh. 1.5 hours away, including gas and office visit, as much as cheaper and more personalized, better care. One good thing about tiny towns. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, sometimes it's worth it. Do you guys want to go out there? I don't trust you. No. You know what? No. I'm not going to let you. Never mind. I changed my mind. My cat's surgery wound up being $6,000, and there was more. Oh my gosh, these animals. I probably should have had pet insurance, but I don't know. Does it really even help that much to have pet insurance? And sorry, everybody, we kind of talk about all kinds of things here. We go off on other things, not just true crime, because this is my time to get to know everybody as well. And it is our community of, this is how we all met, and I like to get to know you guys. Percy, stop. What are you doing? Both of you. What other cases am I forgetting about? Joshua Bohannon, that case is still weird. Somebody did reach out to me yesterday that spoke to his wife, Jessica, right after Joshua went missing, and she said she would give me some more information. So I said, yeah, here's my email address. She put it in the comments. So that would be interesting to find out what she has to say. It does. Because I know I can buy my pet insurance through work. So I probably should, when we have open enrollment again, is get pet insurance. Because now I got these two yo-yos still, you know, that I have to, maybe they're going to get sick at some point. Pam, I would do just about anything to care for my kitty and my dog. It's just how it goes when you're a pet owner, I think. Yeah. What I need to do, and what I should have been doing for the last 20 years of my life, is having a pet fund put aside, right? I think that's the right way to do it. Depends on what issue it's. If pet insurance works and you find a vet that actually accepts it, at most around here don't. Oh. Besides, anything pre-existing isn't covered and ridiculous. Oh, the Murdaugh case. Okay. I started listening to Pretty Lies and Alibis last night talking about the Murdaugh case, but I am not caught up. It just sounds like crazy. My sister was telling me about the Murdaugh case, and I'm not caught up at all, but it's a crazy one, right? It's bizarre. I started listening to something not too long ago about it, and I didn't know what it was, about the boating accident. And then last night when they were talking about this knife and the tire, and I'm completely lost. I don't know anything about the case, really, other than just bits and pieces of, I know, yeah. No, another Tartan Power, ugh. Do I believe that Summer was sex trafficked? I don't know. I'm so confused on Summer. I don't know. Murdaugh, that's it, Murdaugh. I don't know. I don't really have a feeling about, like the Wests, I believe the Bio family was involved in that abduction. That's my gut feeling, and I've kind of had that feeling from the start. I got a lot of crap about it, but I don't believe it was the adoptive parents. I believe the Bio family has something to do with the West boys being abducted. Born in Orange County, Los Alamitos. Oh, hello, Miss Jones. Yes, Los Alamitos is down the road. I went to high school in Huntington Beach. So you are one of our crosstown rival schools over there in Los Alamitos. Actually, my sister's in that area, close to that area. She's in Seal Beach. Let's see. They did another search at the lake for Xavier in Iowa. And then that's another one. That's another one, Xavier. What? That's a weird story too. All these missing kids. Roby, I think Summer was abducted. Maybe someone at church. Given the volatile nature of the Wells adults, I suspect a fatal event. Now, I thought about that too. Because of the fact of that story that Hunter told about pulling Summer out of the water when they went for the swim, and then that sleeping picture in the car, I feel like that could be related. And that Summer was injured, went to lay down, maybe dry drowning, I don't know. But I feel like that might have had something to hit her head maybe during that underwater, was there a rock under there? I kind of tend to, that's where I was at first until all this other crap came out. And then I was like, I'm so lost. I believe Summer's parents sold her. Apparently there's a horrendously huge trafficking ring in that area. See, there's just so many options with this one. You guys, after I'm done, they're going to fall asleep for like 4 hours. That's a really good idea. Pentfoot, sort of like Christmas Club. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that after this experience for sure because, I still got 2 dogs that are relatively young, so I can start saving for their tragedy now. My sister said that her dog had like a tumor on its eyelid or something, and that was a $5,000 surgery that she just had on her dog. And her dog's a boxer. Boxers get all kinds of tumors and cancer. You have to go buy furniture? What kind of furniture? Hearing me talk, yeah. Because they're like, something cool's going on. She's talking. It's like when you're on the phone and with your kids, Greetings from Sacramento. Hello, Gayla. I have not seen you in a while. Well, I haven't been here in a while. Lovely Kathryn, my grandkids are moving away to Arkansas. Oh no, that's far. Are you going to be able to get out there very often? Trying to watch the chat over here. And the chat over here. I have it on 2 screens, but that one I can actually see the YouTube. My old dog went in for tooth removal and didn't make it. Oh, that's the other thing they want to do to Ziggy is they want to do his teeth cleaning and stuff right now. I'm like, is that really a priority right now? Probably not, being that he's lost 4 pounds and he was 18 pounds and he has a tumor that's cancerous. But, you guys. Gail Brown, did you discuss Chad's kids on 48 Hours? What do you think of kids' mannerisms and their belief Chad was framed? Okay, that's a good one to talk about. Chad's kids are programmed to believe that their dad, this is my opinion, that their dad is who he says he is. That he is just this guy with this special experiences, his near-death experiences. He can see beyond the veil. Emma talks so weird to me. Like, no flat affect, no expression at all. Her affect is just flat. And she's like, well, I think he was framed. It's just weird. And I honestly think the kids in the back, the adult kids in the back row, especially the other daughter, she was tears streaming down her face. I think she doesn't know what to believe. I really think that Emma is the kind of the leader of the pack. Remember, her mom was dead and they were searching the house and Emma was sticking her tongue out behind Emma's an adult woman and she was like, blah, 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 sticking her tongue out behind the news reporter. So Emma, whatever Chad is selling, Emma has bought hook, line, and sinker. And Garth is just a Chad duo double. Oh, that's cute. Okay. I'm going to go back in the chat for a second. Someone questioned why Jeannie didn't call the police when Summer was born. Well, from what I understand, Jeannie didn't know anything about Summer until this one came up in the news. Okay, that makes sense. I haven't been on because I was sick with COVID and pneumonia. Oh my gosh, good. I'm glad you're okay. Adult woman. Well, I mean, she is. She is drinking Chad's Kool-Aid. And her and Garth both, I think, are really, and they say that Garth was really questioned by the grand jury for a long time. The story is just so bizarre. She had pink foam, she was on the floor, he helped pick her up because she was half on the floor, she would die peacefully in her sleep, she was ill, we told her to go to the doctor, she doesn't like the doctor, she was getting ready to run a marathon, blah, blah, blah. And I think the kids, I think the kids still believe that Tammy died of natural causes. Asphyxiation. How do you die of asphyxiation if you're just breathing? Who was in the house when she died of asphyxiation? Like, that's asphyxiation. Like, somehow you can't breathe anymore, right? Put a pillow over your head, or carbon monoxide. Did they have the test tested for carbon monoxide poisoning? Like, they are, in my opinion, the Daybell adult children are brainwashed. But not just brainwashed, like they know right from wrong. Somebody was pointing that out. They know right from wrong. They just have been programmed to believe that their dad and what their dad says and does is right. They probably believe that those kids, why are you trying to jump on me? They probably believe that those kids were actually evil zombies. And now they're saying he was framed. Oh my God, come on. Really? They're in your backyard. What about the raccoon story? What about what about the fact that, and then, okay, while I'm getting started. the second pet cemetery. How many pets, somebody said this in a comment, how many pets do you have that die? You only lived there a couple years. How many pet cemeteries does one person need on their property? I mean, really. It's not like they had goats and horses and pigs and cows dropping dead in their house, right? So yeah, no, those kids are, and and another thing, if you want to go back, like Emma's husband was really, really super rude to me. And when because I made a video about, which one was it? Anyway, remember there was that Facebook group, I don't even know if it's still there, where they were totally defending Chad and Lori. And Emma and her husband, Joe Murray, were in that group liking everything that people said, or arguing or thumbs downing if anybody said anything about Lori bad or Chad. They were all about, excuse me, you're in my camera. You're my camera. They were all about how we were all wrong and Lori and Chad were amazing and blah, blah, blah. And then the other thing that, right, how could a grave digger not notice a new grave being dug? Exactly. It's just such crap that they say they believe anything. And Scott Reich pointed out, I don't know if you guys saw this, but he was like, oh my gosh. They literally said, and I don't know how the exact quote went, but Scott said, oh, these kids can now be called, these adult children can now be called as witnesses against their father because they said, they asked him where JJ and Tylee were, and Chad told them he knew they were in hiding, or they were in hiding to protect them from the evil Kay and Larry crap. So if Chad told them that he knew that the kids were in hiding, then Chad knew what happened to the kids. Like, it's that simple. If I was on the jury and I heard that, I'd be like, well, then he knew they were dead because he knew they weren't in hiding. Because he's saying he knew they were in hiding, but they weren't in hiding. Emma and Joe tore down the tribute fence and trashed everything. Yeah, see, they're just super uncool. Super disrespectful to the whole thing. I don't care if it's your chatty daddy.
Well, it's my chatty daddy. I'm Chad. I'm innocent. They framed me, Emma. Okay, Dad, I believe everything you say. What about Mommy? Yeah, you know what happened to her. She just asphyxiated herself.
I mean, you know what I mean? We can't tell you. Okay, that was the quote. We can't tell you for the kids' safety. Okay, so then, that point, that's it, exactly. So they could be called now. Scott said they could be called now as witnesses, you know, against their dad for saying that. I'm looking at the camera, and then I'm looking at the chat. So if I look like I'm looking like, oh, where am I looking? Because it's over here and it's over here. Tammy was, in your opinion, Tammy was smothered. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. So sad then. She knew what was happening to her, right? It'd be interesting to see if there's any poison or some sedative in her system or something like that, you know? That he sedated her first, I don't know. Or if he just poisoned her with malachite. Do we get a new cartoon soon? I have not done a cartoon in so long. I still pay for the software monthly for the cartoon thing. Some people loved it. Some people thought it was just stupid and silly. Oh, and I started doing those shorts with that here, like a really bizarre or interesting news story, and I just put a link to the article below, and I was doing a short last week, and then some Jennifer somebody or another came along, and she's like, I'm out. Your shorts are just stupid. Are you just now you're a newscaster? Can't you just stick to your videos? And I was like, screw you, don't watch. Like, I can do more than one thing, right? I don't remember there's a law against having shorts and having a channel with videos and having live streams and having a podcast. Like, what the hell, lady? 3 of his children were, Gar said, okay, sorry, I'm picking the wrong one, but I can get to the other one too. Gar said he was told Tammy was asphyxiated, but what they have been told has been wrong before, right? What if Tammy was killed in some other way, like poisoning? Right. Because who's telling them this? Right? Who's telling them this? And Chad was like, oh yeah, her heart just gave out. Remember all that? Hi, good grandma. You're welcome. And that's what I like. I like being able to hear what you guys have to say. Stephanie, the 3 of his children that were at court for Chad's murder charges looked like they were smiling on their masks. They did. I used that picture in one of my thumbnails, and they certainly did. But, you know, your dad is up for the death penalty, and he ain't going anywhere. I am sure of it. Nobody's going to be on Emma and Like, there's just so much evidence that we know. What don't we know? I mean, there's so much that we know, you know? So much that we know, you know? You like the cartoons? They're fun to make, too. They are fun to make. Maybe now that we're getting to winter, I have more time to do stuff like that. Jennifer's real name must be Karen. You're the creator. You can do every month. I know. I even told my daughter that, and she's like, is her name Karen? Is she a Karen? I feel bad because I have a lot of friends named Karen because our generation has a lot of Karens. But apparently that's why they're called Karens, because they come in and boss the world around. To be honest, I would believe either one of my parents under pretty preposterous circumstances. Well, yeah, and then you got to look at that. You're right. That is a perfect example. Like, especially thinking back when, like, Emma's age, they're in their 20s, right? Although I don't think my kids would. I really don't. I don't know, though. But back in our day, I probably would have believed whatever my parents said. Dr. John Mathias on Hidden True Crime said the Daybells are an enmeshed family and they have to do and think the way Chad tells them to. Yeah, they're programmed. I agree with that. His kids seemed like robots. They did. They really did. Reality will hit them soon and hard. It's going to have to. Sensible crime. My sister's named Karen. She introduces by saying, I'm your worst nightmare. Oh, that's funny. Hi, I'm Karen. My name starts with a K. It's not Karen, but my children Google everything I say to double check my facts. I know mine are like, no, that's not it. That's not right. And then they try to prove it. So yeah, I totally get you. Like, I told you, I know everything. What about it? I know stuff. Doesn't Emma have children? She has a little boy, probably 3 or 4 now. The sooner the Daybell kids see and believe the truth, the sooner they can begin to heal. They need therapy. All these people need therapy. Yeah. Yes, she has a boy. Okay. I mean, they need like the kind of therapy that deprogram cult members. That kind of therapy. That kind of therapist. That's what they need. Oh, she did? She had another baby? Oh, I did not know that, Carrie. Thank you. Oops. It's clear he knew, otherwise he would have said exactly that. He does not know where they are. Right. Sunshine in my heart. It is hard to admit that a loved one can make choices like that, especially when family is so important in a culture, right? Scary, but you don't want to believe they would do opposite of what's right. Yeah, and I find it interesting that Emma made so many excuses for Chad's relationship with Lori, like saying it was an emotional affair. Girl, and, you know, it wasn't publicly accepted. They had a freaking full-blown affair. I'm sorry. They went and got sealed by Moroni in the temple because they've been married 7 times before. So, that's not an emotional affair. So Emma's just on another planet, literally. She is on one of Lori's planets. Someone put her there, they bring her down, they let her talk a little bit, and they send her back to her planet. And then they bring her down again, and then she says stuff like this, and then we're like, Emma, really, Emma? Yeah, and then therapy for the rest of their lives. Exactly. Thank you, Ruby. Thank you. Wasn't some of Chad's children living with Tammy and Chad when all this was going on? I think Garth was, no. Who was living with them? I thought there were some of those kids were living with them. Was Emma and Joe living with them at the time? Would he send them away or something? Imagine if Lori's family helped Charles get her medical care. 2 kids and others would still be with her. Lori out of jail. Right. They all dug their head in the sand. Again, Summer and Janice, I mean, listening to them in that one interview that they had, Percy, you're very uncomfortable. Apparently pugs were bred back in ancient China or way back in China to sit on the emperor's laps. They're lap dogs. And that's why they were bred. So they want to be on you. And it wants to be on me. Like on me. It's hard to get things done with them on me though. Thank you. Do you think Emma is going through postpartum blues? Maybe her behaviors are from all the lies she was fed. You know, that's another good point. We don't give enough attention, being that, if you don't know, most of you probably do know, my expertise, my life as a nurse for the last 20 years is OB, and I work high-risk OB case management now as a RN, and I worked labor and delivery first. But the postpartum period isn't given enough attention to what really could be going on. There's baby blues, there's postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety, and if you already have any mental health issues, you're more apt to get postpartum depression, etc. I mean, even up to psychosis, right? Andrea Yates, she had mental issues, but during all times she had all her kids, she may have been just continually suffering from postpartum psychosis, and in the end, she drowned her babies. So yeah, I mean, Emma could be, but I think she was already on the train before she had her baby. But the first baby was already here, so it could have just been a continuation. Emma and Joe rented the house across the street. Garth and wife lived there with Tammy. Thank you, Dells. Thank you for clarifying that. That's right. They lived across the street. And that's why Chad was sitting across the street that day when they were called, Lori. Hi, they're searching the backyard. Oh, what can I do for you? What do you want me to do? Pray?
No, not pray.
Okay, do you want me to call you later?
Well, sure, if you can. Maybe. Probably not, because I'm going to be in jail.
Let's see. No, just Garth lived at home when Tammy was killed. Garth got married in March of 2021. Okay. When I was still getting my period. Where'd you go? Oh. I used to suffer with PMS. Yeah, it's all a real thing. Hormones can make you really, really, really wacky. You know, in the podcast, I point out something, episode 2 that's coming up. You know, I listened to Annie. I went back and listened to Annie Cushing talk about her and Joe Ryan, you know, their childhood and stuff. And she said that her dad dropped them off at an orphanage when she was 2 months old because her mom lost her mind. And I really think that, I don't know her mom's history, but there were other siblings before this, but I really think that her mom probably had postpartum psychosis. From everything I know, she was 2 months old. Dad was like, what the hell, my wife's going crazy. This is probably back in, how old is Annie? The 60s? And the dad was like, my wife has lost her mind. I have a brand new baby. Don't know what to do with her. I got kids. I'm going to just drop Joe and Annie off at an orphanage because I don't know what to do. I'll bet you anything that Annie's mom had postpartum psychosis or postpartum terrible depression, but they said she kind of went into like schizophrenia mode. And sometimes you can't recover from this, you know? So who would marry into that family? Joseph Murray? A couple of people. Good grandma. I hope you didn't have that experience. I try to support creators and mods, but sometimes they go too far. Uh-oh, what happened? I missed something. You should listen to El Mom and Krisha's podcast. Krisha doesn't like me anymore. She was on here once, but I've been sabotaged in her eye. I mean, won't even go there. John Pryor is now the sole owner of Chad's property. That's right. Up until very recently, the county assessor's website said the property was owned by Pryor and Tammy, but now it looks like the kids have sold. Okay, so Tammy's portion got sold to John. Probably needed more for Chad's defense. Okay, I missed something. I want to go back. What did good grandma say? Scrolling. Okay. I'm looking. Okay, good grandma, where are you? You said something. Good grandma said, hi, sense of crime. Wow, I didn't realize how different other creators have control issues. Okay, so I missed what Sensible Crime said. Look at, I'm missing stuff. I'm left out. All right, I'm probably just out of the loop here with this conversation. All right, you guys, I missed whatever you're talking about. Because then I saw this. Hope you didn't have that experience. I try to support creators and mods, but sometimes they go too far. All right, I don't know what you're talking about, but I agree with that. John Pryor would have to have given permission for 48 hours to film on his property. Oh, good point. That's his property. And Emma was, otherwise it'd be trespassing. Good point, good point. Oh, they do? They never moved out? You guys, okay, let me go back. Okay. It's Pryor's property, Emma's renting, so they could then, right? I don't think you would have to clear it with the landlord if you're renting, would you? Oh. Creators and control issues. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of that goes on. A lot of that. I always like, cracks me up when I turn it off, honestly. I turned on a new podcast or YouTube channel the other day, and the first thing out of the creator's mouth was like, mods, remove anybody that's rude and anybody that's da-da-da. And if you mention another creator, you're out of here. You're just getting booted right off the bat, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, bye. I'm not listening to you. You're not nice. Oh, thank you, good grandma. I'm glad you're here too. Appreciate it. They are hurrying to bury raccoons in their second pet cemetery. Right, that's what I was saying before. I'm like, no. How many pet cemeteries do you need? You would if your landlord was somebody like Pryor. Oh, yeah, that's true. He's an attorney. Don't chance it or you might become a zombie also. And I wonder if Pryor is a little pissed at some of their answers because, especially the one about, oh yeah, we can't tell you where the kids are because they're being protected or however that went. I would not want to be on a property that had dead people in the backyard. Me either. I would have left so fast, I would have left my stuff. Gar said they designated another area of the property for a second pet cemetery. I bet there are no animals buried there. That is the dumbest thing ever. How many pet cemeteries do you need? Literally, I don't even have one. Actually, the house in Oregon, there was a dead cat out front under a tree, and my son decided to bury it. So apparently, we do have a pet cemetery at the house in Oregon. But I'm not burying anything in my brand new backyard. They'll get cremated. The whole thing seemed scripted. Yes, all opinions are welcome here. We can have different opinions. I'm fine. I like having different opinions. I think that's what makes the world go round. And I don't like this cancel culture where if somebody has a different person from you, you're canceled. You're out. Get out. You didn't agree with me. Boom, gone. Cancel culture. I think it's wrong. And I think society needs to wake up a little bit. Go back into ancient times. I've said this before. Back into the Greeks. What are they known for? They're known for debate. My father loved to have a good debate with people. It's part of humanity. We debate things, we talk about things, we give our opinion, somebody gives theirs. You're not going to change anybody's opinion, who cares? But you can discuss things. Let's see. I won't bother with other creators that kick you out for mentioning others. You might learn something. I agree. There's so many creators that have been brought up in my live stream that people tell me to go look at, and I'm like, oh wow, I really like that channel. I become a member, So sure, of course, yeah. I'm not trying to discount any other creator that has that rule, but I personally just don't understand it. It's not something that I would want to implement here unless they were like, leave this channel, go over to La La La, don't go to Left Undone, go to there. If you were in here saying that, or just trolling to push a channel, but to say, oh, so-and-so on this other channel said this or that. I've been in other live stream chats watching, and then somebody mentions something I said on my channel, and they go, there's no mentioning other creators. I'm like, I'm sitting here supporting your show right now. You know that? Bye. Right? We all have a channel. If you have a name on YouTube, you have a channel. We all have channels. Just because we don't all put videos up doesn't mean we're all considered YouTube channel creators. And so, it's just, I don't know. You guys can tell me if I'm wrong. I think those creators sometimes are trying to avoid controversy. I would not come here and say, man, that other creator is such a twit. Right. We don't want that. We don't want you to come in and say anything bad and specify a channel. But mention them. If they have something good to say, come on, let me know. I want to know. Why can I not say that? And con job of Chad telling Tammy about shooting a raccoon to appease Tammy. Bet Tammy lost ducks to the raccoon. Oh, maybe, yeah, probably. I also don't talk about controversial channels, and that's a very good reason. I wonder what the kids have to say to explain why Chad was going to have concrete pad poured in the backyard. Remember that? You know what? Remember when he got turned down? He was going to get that manufactured home put there? When was that? Hey, Robbie. When was that? When he was going to get the manufactured home put on that property? That was well before the kids were found. They should have started digging then. Do you remember exactly when that was? That's super suspicious. I forgot about that. Good Grandma Yetchet was showing them the land where he wanted to gather the $144,000. Candalee Woodward Stone. I was given time out on Trisha's show. I've never joined or just subscribed. I was only saying truth. Oh, well, I mean, you shouldn't give I don't know. Sometimes mods get a little overzealous on the timeout too, you know. I don't want anybody to get timed out unless they're actually just being mean or trolling and being mean. Most of the trolls are just come in here to start trouble. I thought he applied and wasn't allowed to put in power. Right. He tried to get it and then he couldn't get it. But I'm thinking, why didn't they? That was awful weird, right? And that was why Lori was in jail. That should have raised so many red flags with law enforcement. Like, exactly where do you want this? Oh, over here by the fire pit. Okay. Okay. Like, hey, this dude with missing children wants to put something on his backyard that's going to cover up a big portion of the backyard. Robbie, what you got? I have just learned that I need to keep my opinions to myself because everything is all out and open now and people are able to see for themselves what's going on. You always get in trouble for your opinion everywhere. I'm pretty sure. No, Emma is a teacher. I think she could afford somewhere else. I assume Joe works too. I think she stays there because of the nostalgia. FBI searched the entire acres for the clandestine graves, all, including the new pet cemetery. Emma said that, huh? But we have creators like the L Mom and a lot of XMO channels cropping up on YouTube. Yes, true. And they can sort of tie together where the beliefs go into this direction, I guess. All right, so any other cases, any other things? Barry Murphy's supposed to come up in court this week to see if he can get out on bail, if the judge is going to make it go to trial. I think they will. I think they will send it to the jury, but I don't know if there's enough there for a jury to convict him. If they gave their biggest info, I think there's reasonable doubt. There was no way they could dig where they found out about putting a mobile home on property because it was snowed and ice under here locally at the time. Oh, true. So they waited till June when they found him, but that had something to do with Tammy's sister, right? Tammy's sister was the one that said that about the pet cemetery, and then they probably connected the text messages and all that stuff at that point. Oh my gosh, Letitia. Okay, I didn't watch it. I know that there's a news guy. Do you want to get down? Why don't you go over there and lay down? Put you over here. Lay down. I know that there's a news guy that was tweeting it, but I was working. Oh my gosh, you're gonna come back? Go lay down. I was working, so I didn't hear exactly what happened, but I heard that his skull was fractured and he was shot in the jaw and his body was in a fetal position in the suitcase when the people opened it and found it in Florida. Hi, Kathy. Thanks again for all your hard work on the Daybell case. Everyone knows that since the beginning, you were the one with accurate information and without any personal agenda. Thank you, Cards and Cavaliers. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And thank you for the super sticker. Really appreciate that. I'll put that towards Ziggy. Thank you very much. You got a puppy. Aww. He was also stabbed. Had defensive wounds on his hands. Poor Gannon. Oh my God. I don't know how I could live if I knew that my child was murdered by someone that I was married to. I mean, I just don't even know how you wrap your mind around that for the rest of your life. People sharing their opinions and throwing out ideas is how cases get solved. It's really sad, but for some reason, law enforcement needs the help. Yeah. There is. People putting their heads together does help quite a bit. They say Gannon had defensive wounds on his arms and hands as well, so he was fighting back. Freaking Letitia. And she didn't want to go in the courtroom because she didn't want to hear people say bad things about her. I think she should have been forced to sit there and listen. I follow a few other channels, but Left Undone was my first and always put you first. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Dee Dee. Apparently, Letitia was just jealous. Al had a girlfriend. I read she was getting revenge at Al by killing Gannon. Oh, Al did have a girlfriend? Was Al cheating on her? I missed that. I didn't know that. I know Linda on It's a Crime has been a really big Gannon channel. Like, she followed that like I follow the Daybells. So she probably knows all that stuff. I was just thinking about that. She should be forced to sit there. Right? You sit your ass down and you listen to what people are saying you did because you clearly did this. Oh, he is. Oh, that's a whole bunch of guilt waiting to happen, right? Chihuahua Terrier mix, mostly Terrier of some sort. Like Lulu. Lulu's a Yorkie Terrier. Left Undone was my first big subscriber fan. Aw, you guys are so nice. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Oh, Ruby, thank you very much. All right, Zig, we're a few dollars in for your surgery. I'm just kidding, but like, I guess it just goes on in the back of my mind. Those with controlling issues are annoying. Do they want justice for the victims or what? Don't they care about the truth? You're correct, Kathy. The Greeks were and still are right. Everyone's opinion. Yes. They said Gannon's cause of death was the gunshot to the jaw and stabbed 18 times. Oh my God. Poor Gannon. That's horrible. Letitia is just her and Lori, about as evil could absolutely be. I wonder if Letitia was an affair at first. I think she was. I believe she was. I'm almost positive she was. 90% sure that she was. Yeah. So why does Colorado doesn't let us have cameras? Do they let you have cameras in the jury trial in Colorado or no? Or is it still going to be this, like, one person gets to sit there and tweet? All the others, not all, but pretty much all the other cases, big cases, we're able to see in the courtroom. Because it's the people against this person. And so we be the people, right? Those district attorneys, prosecutors work for the people. So I think every court should be able to have a camera. Let's see. I found Left Undone because of people on Linda's It's a Crime live stream not long after Kathryn started this channel. Oh, all right. So yeah, you guys probably have a lot of people that follow her and me. I did like Unmasked pointing out that Letitia was a no-show because Letitia is a coward. Yeah, I'm sure she's a coward. Wasn't cowardy enough to kill the kid, but to listen to what she did. At least sometimes Colorado does not allow cameras. Okay. Oh, Carrie, you found my channel because of your podcast. So that's one of the reasons I did like doing the podcast, but the podcast didn't do absolutely great because what I was doing on the podcast was taking the audio from here and putting it there. And I think now I'm going to do it the opposite way. Keep the afterglow. It's on the same old Left Undone podcast, keep Afterglow Unveiling the Idaho Cult as its own playlist on here, and then record it for there. And then we'll still do videos and stuff over here. Because I think that makes more sense. Because there were times like I'd have to go back and edit all the video to make it sound right for audio, and you don't see the pictures and stuff when I do it as a video. So I think it made more sense. But thank you for finding me that way. Kathy existed before Linda. Like, I think we started right around the same time, and she clearly wins as far as subscribers go. Let's see. No cam. Okay. Kathryn probably didn't know this. Afterglow is a popular singing group in the LDS culture. Oh! Well, that a coinky dink. That's funny. Well, that works. Holy cow. I didn't want to just name it Afterglow. I had to add a little to it because there's another podcast called just plain old Afterglow. But I can't believe the judge in Letitia's case can't decide if it's going to trial until 9/23. I know, I'd have been like, okay, enough said. Trial. They always have to come back with some speech or something about, you know, they go blah, 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 like make you think they're going to say no, and then they go blah, 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 make you think they're going to say yes, and then they go where you think they're going to say no, and then they go yes, and then they say yes. That's the way I felt like it was going for Lori and Chad for some of those hearings, you know. Yes, thumbs up. Thank you. I thought it was pretty funny when I saw you talked about a few days ago, but I'm going, who is that, on purpose or on accident? LOL. I know. Well, that part was on accident because I was going to do light and dark because you know how Chad did the light and dark. So I asked my daughter and she's like, no. And then she's like, how about Afterglow? Because that actually means when light is turning to dark. And I'm like, oh, I like it. Thank you. Oh my goodness, Marion. Thank you very much. So appreciated. You're so sweet. Very, very much appreciated. I got you. I said thank you for the $1.99. I hope. Like having short-term memory loss right now. Thank you very much. Very sweet. Okay, Zig's doing better here. Go and get that surgery. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you so much. Does everyone know what the thumbs up like button? Yeah, so the thumbs up means you like this video, and if it gets a lot of thumbs up, YouTube will recommend it for other people and recommend my channel. So the thumbs up really helps with the algorithm on YouTube to get my channel viewed more. Your channel is the best, all the facts, none of the gossip, and Afterglow is a must for everyone to listen to. Thank you, T. I was like, when I put it all together, I was like, you know what? This podcast sounds really good. I listened to a lot of podcasts and kind of tried to do what I like a good story. I like the background stuff. And so if you haven't listened, and tell your friends. One thing I like about podcasts is you can binge them on road trips and stuff too. So once I get a bunch out there, tell more friends. Yes, also comments on videos helps the channel stats as well. Yes, it does. I did a collab with a guy recently, and I don't know if he put it up. He is called, oh my God, this is terrible. The Dad Verb. And I don't know if it's up. He's putting together a class, like a prenatal class for dads whose wives are pregnant. And he has a channel where he is for new dads. And anyway, so he wanted to he gave me a list of questions like, what's Pitocin? What is this? Why are some people get C-sections? And he wants to make like a condensed class for dads. So I did a collab with him. I don't know if it's up. I don't know if he used it. He was interviewing more than just me. He was interviewing OBGYNs, other nurses, like people that are good with finance. And then he's going to put a whole class together to teach these new dads. And I think it's a fabulous niche. So like him too, because he's got amazing. If you have adult sons or anybody that, you know, is a new dad, his channel is such a good idea, great idea. One of the recent court cases was not supposed to be shown by anybody because it might taint a jury pool. And the creator on YouTube that did it anyways, and that's why they're not letting people. I know exactly what you're talking about. And then I heard Scott Reich say, you can't do that. Left Undone. At first, I was upset about the motion to sever the Daybell case from Chad, but a lot of examples out there show that even if the cases are severed, neither party will escape justice. Yeah, they're going down. What's going on? Is it not loud enough? Oh, hold on. Now you tell me. I don't know where the did it turn off? Hold on. No, it's still on. Last night when I was doing the members only, it went off. Or acted weird. And again, I'm in this room. You know, this room I need to put stuff on the walls in here, but I don't want it to be ugly. Does everyone know that the phrase lived between Highway 24 to the north and Barry's house by the back roads to Frazie's Ranch is about an hour away? I don't know who that is. Who's Frazee? The phrase lived between the Highway 24 to the north and Barry's house back roads to Frazie's Ranch is about an hour away. Who is that? I don't even know. It's good. I can hear it's clipping, perhaps by turning the sensitivity. Maybe it's this. Is it my mouse? I should just use the mouse on the desktop because then you're hearing it click, click. Or maybe my necklace is hitting it. I don't know. Audio, man. But you're sensitive to that stuff. I mean, you're aware of how audio and everything matters, all that stuff. Hey, Kathryn, are you open to explaining a women's health related question now or later? Mic and volume is good on my end. Sure. I'll explain anything you want. Clipping is a form of waveform distortion that occurs when an amplifier is overdriven and attempts to deliver an output voltage. Okay. I did have that happen before, so I may have to adjust that in my camera. Robbie, this is the first time I'm using my actual Sony ZV-1 camera. I was always, for my live streams, I was always using my my laptop camera, and now I'm using the Sony ZV-1. I learned how to do it. I watched YouTube videos, and I learned how to do it, and the picture's so much better, right? But I probably need to work with the volume thing a little bit. Let's see. A nurse girlfriend cleaned it up, probably burned her in a fire pit. What? Hold on. I'm missing out again. Oh. Phrase. Okay. Kill Kelsey, mother of his baby. Whose baby? Al and his new wife had a new baby already? I didn't know that. Okay. Hi, Darlene. How are you? Nice to see you here. Patrick Frazee killed Kelsey, mother of his baby. Only evidence was a tiny piece of tooth. Oh, wow. No, you're fine, Robbie. I appreciate the IT help. All right, thank you, Robbie. The case in Colorado, Patrick Frazee. Patrick killed Kelsey Barrett. Oh, okay. Picture's great, cool. Who is Al? Al is Gannon's dad. That's what they're talking about. You know, we jump all over the place around here. It's like, wait, what are you talking about now? Now you're back to this, back to that. Yeah, Patrick Frazee killed Kelsey Barrett in 2018. She was from Woodland Park, Colorado. Oh, interesting. Gannon's father, yes. Yes. Yeah, so that, all this is going to be, I wonder if there's going to be a lot of delays for Letitia's case. I feel like Letitia's case should have already gone to trial, but they all take so long. Do you want it now or later? It's kind of Daybell related. Local gossip talking about the possibility of Emma having PMDD. PMDD. I don't even know. Let me see what PMDD. I'm not. What's PM? Why am I not? Premenstrual dysphoric disorder. Let's see. The symptoms of PMDD: anger or irritability, anxiety and panic attacks, depression and suicidal thoughts, difficulty concentrating, fatigue and low energy, food cravings or binging, headaches or insomnia. Premenstrual dysphoric disorder, symptoms and treatment. Is it considered a mental illness? It's commonly defined as an endocrine disorder, meaning that it's hormone-related disorder. But as well as physical symptoms, people with PMDD also experience a range of different mental health symptoms such as depression, suicidal feelings, and anxiety. So it sounds like it's very related to like severe PMS. Like as, you know, like postpartum baby blues is to postpartum depression, to postpartum psychosis. It sounds like it's like an extension and hormone related as well. Your hormones can make you crazy. So that's what it sounds like to me. Oh, okay. I think Patrick's name rhymes with crazy. Crazy. Pretty much describes all this, ladies. Yeah. Especially the fatigue, low energy, food cravings. That one for sure. I have that one. Let's see. Oops. My biggest thing in regards of Letitia's daughter, did Harley help conceal? That is a good question. I am really curious to how much Harley knew. Harley is Letitia's daughter, who she made come on the camera and lie to the news reporter that day about where she was or give her story. Okay, I googled PMDD and it said that it can disrupt work and damage relationships. Symptoms include extreme sadness, hopelessness, irritability, or anger. So, yeah, so that's a good question. So what are Emma's symptoms like? Is she doing this stuff? Is she, you know, if she has a new baby, but Emma's always been a Chad man, so I don't know. I am not sure. I'm not sure. I know. I deal so much with pregnancy, obstetrics, more than the gyno stuff, that everything I really know is related to actual pregnancy, high risk, delivering, labor, breastfeeding, postpartum stuff. So I'm not really versed on this stuff because by the time I'm done with my people, they're done being pregnant and they go somewhere else. So in Harley's position at 17, I would believe my mother did what she said. I agree. She's young. If Letitia lied to Harley, she probably just believed Letitia. I can't imagine what that girl's going through now. Literally going to move to Rexburg and join the church just to get the insider scoop. You probably would. Has something new come out about Emma Daybell? Just thought she was your basic village idiot, to be fair. Right, I don't know. I mean, it sounds like people are suspecting Emma. But I've never heard Emma talk before. Have you, before this? Has she been interviewed at all before this? I don't think so. Other than her stupid husband being mean in my channel. I feel bad for her daughter. I'd be afraid if my mother, if she was acting crazy and killed my stepbrother, I would do whatever she said. Yeah. Oh, Dee asked if Robbie was actually moving to Rexburg. Hey, people do all the time. Colby and his wife moved to Rexburg for a while and on the back. My friend here in California works for an LDS tech employer. They relocated him to Meridian. Sounds awful. Oh, Emma was on Nancy Grace. Okay. Didn't see that one. Long time ago. I don't think I saw that. Some village is missing their That's so, you guys are so funny. True. Imagine the horror she must feel. Isn't Harley on the prosecution side? So is she a witness for the prosecution at all? I thought my mom was crazy, but now I know what crazy looks like. Right. Local gossip, like I said, may or may not be true. As it is gossip, I was curious about details to understand it. Right. I mean, people always go, down that road to what might or might not be going on as far as like medical diagnoses. But I would lean towards the fact that she's a new mom. I would lean more towards any kind of postpartum type stuff, because postpartum depression can happen a year later. And she had sounds like she had babies kind of back to back. So if she's having any kind of, I just don't know what her symptoms are. Other than she stood there and sounded like a robot, and my dad is framed. He was framed. Here's our pet cemetery. I didn't know. Yeah, Garth was questioned for 6 hours. Crazy. Emma's reacting for emotions during this time of dealing with her mother's death, and now she is looking for a new view of her dad, Hero. We heard Emma when she made that video in middle school when she was running for class president. Even as a teenager, Emma spoke like that. Emma's speech pattern has always been. That's right. That was another thing. I got to remember that from my podcast, that video. I got to collect some of the old, if anybody knows any links or anything that I'm missing of old stuff, like before the case, like before, Daybell's met Lori and all that stuff, like the videos I have from Lori in her Mrs. Texas pageant, Mrs. Ryan, Lori from Miss Hayes County or wherever the heck she is. Any stuff like that or old stuff, I want to use that in the podcast if I can dig any of that stuff up. Anyone know Sandra Briggs? Daybells have a YouTube channel entitled Tammy. Tammy was also taking clogging lessons and high fitness as well as training for marathon. So there's a YouTube channel out there with Tammy on it. I need to find that. Garth's mother-in-law. Do. Okay, wait. Those kids have to be in denial. It would be hard losing your mom. Chad getting married so quick should tell them what really happened. Right. He married his emotional affair 5 minutes after your mom was dead and buried, and then your mom was unburied. And people were dropping like flies. Yeah, no. I wish I would have saved Emma's middle school video. It doesn't seem like it's on YouTube anymore. I might have it. Did I ever use it in a video? I can't even remember. It kind of seemed like she was reading a teleprompter trying to make sure it's correct, so she is going so slow and robotic. I might have that. Do you think Emma is on medication due to this depression that guys should look and talk like a zombie? Yeah, they're saying like back in her middle school running for class whatever president. I remember seeing that like weird sneaking around down the street. There was something like they were some crime solvers or something when she was running for president. Didn't Chad disapprove of Emma's husband? He wasn't the one that Chad had prophesized. I don't know. Well, Joe Murray sure was a Chad, or is a Chad fan. Is, I don't know what he's doing now. She is Kiara, Garth's wife's mother, Sandra Briggs. Oh, Garth's wife's mother. She testified before the grand jury at Perth. Apparently, oh, yeah, okay, I heard something about that, but I never knew who it was or what it was. So was it about him calling Garth and bringing him back? Or was it about, what was it about? That's important. Garth's mother-in-law, okay. Look, I'm behind. I got to get caught up to speed here. I am certain I posted Emma's middle school video Left Undone Facebook page. Then it's somewhere on there. I'm a member. It's not called Left Undone anymore, but I'm a member over there. I'm just not a mod anymore, admin. Rita is running the show over there now. Thank you again, Rita. There are pics of Emma's wedding. Chad and Tammy are there in the pictures. I think Chad approved of Joe. The Daybell clan has a lot of skeletons in their portal. Yep. The portal. Did you watch a Lifetime movie where Chad's like, come on in here. In the closet, I'm putting a portal here. And then she's all, I tried to call you. He's having dinner with Tammy in the Lifetime movie. And she's like, I've been trying to reach you through the portal and you didn't answer me. I'm like, okay, Lori, you probably should have had a clue that there was no way to reach you through the portal, but whatever. If that was true, that cracks me up. Darn it, he's not answering through the portal. Try the phone. Oh my God. Sure, the kids may have psychological issues on this, which is very sad, but the issue started a long time ago from narcissistic male chauvinist of a father they have. Yeah. I mean, their whole life, Chad's been their dad. Okay, Carrie. Apparently, Garth lied about the circumstances after Tammy's death, but this is rumor. Okay, so it's just hearsay. This is about the usual time that Kathy does the live show. I am in the UK, so trying to work out time difference. Many thanks. Oh, yeah. Yes, I try to do, now I'll tell you what's going on. Okay, I should be okay next weekend to do another Saturday live. I want to try to throw in at least one during the week, a quick one, because I want to try to, I started doing those quick lives and I got sidetracked a little bit. And then next Saturday should be okay. my grandson's birthday is the following weekend, so I don't know if I'll be able to do it. And then the following weekend after that, I'm going to Ohio for a wedding, so I won't be doing it there. Unless you want to all come to the wedding, and I don't think my cousin will enjoy the fact that I'm live streaming from her daughter's wedding, so probably shouldn't do that. I didn't think Garth was married. He was single. He was single when Tammy died. I remember when he got married. Somebody on here, was it Leighton? We'll have to ask. I believe, I don't know, I'm not going to say it because I don't know. I thought somebody we knew was invited to the wedding. The different versions of Tammy's death have come from Chad, Garth, and Julie Rowe via Emma. Right. All kinds of different versions. Flame Lily, I'm in the UK and getting good with the time difference now. So I'm in California. It's 12:25 p.m. on Saturday. So you guys are like midnight? No, 9 o'clock at night? Are you like, I know when I was in Greece it was 10 hours ahead. So what are you? Who are you barking at? What? I don't see anything. I don't know what you're barking at. You guys, they just, all of a sudden, they think that there's some crazy robber coming in the house or something. 8:25 p.m. in London. Thank you, Robbie. Shh! Why are you growling? Who are you growling at? My hair needs okay. 12:25. Okay, perfect. 12:26 now. Okay, oh, here's a good one. How does Tammy end up half on the bed and half off when she is dead? That doesn't work with the laws of gravity. Right. You don't fall over when you're dead. Bark, bark, Tammy's in the well. It's the spirit, the portal. Chad just showed up in the portal, and my dogs are like, get him out of here. Get him out of here. He has no business portaling into your YouTube studio. Who's here? Is Chad? Did he portal in? Is it Tammy trying to tell us we're right? Who is it? Oh, you know what? Some puppies need some bully sticks. They do. Those things are expensive. I bought a bag of the bully rings recently. I mean, not even 2 weeks ago, right? It was like $55, and they've already gone through them all. Because every time I need them to be quiet, I was getting them one. And I'm like, shoot, I'm not going to spend $200 a month on bully sticks, but I probably should let them have them when I need them to be quiet and then take them away so they don't just have them all the time, right? I think Chad, hi Melissa, was trying to get her back on the bed, and then that's when Garth said he walked in and helped him. Okay. Yeah. You know, here's a theory. If Chad was trying to suffocate her, like sedate her, and she was fighting back, Percy, don't. And she was fighting back, she may have fallen off the bed during that struggle, right? And been like half on, half off, and he's suffocating her. And then he's like, crap, this don't look right. I need her on the bed. And she's totally dead weight, right? Dead weight is very heavy to move. So he needed help to get her back on the bed to then come up with a story that she was peacefully sleeping with a smile on her face. Yes, right. I I thought it was odd that Emma stated that Chad was running around pointing at pictures of Tammy and saying, why her? She can't be gone, or we. Yeah, good actor, bad actor. I personally think the thump was contrived by Chad as his way of waking up Garth so Garth could discover Tammy as dead, an alibi of sorts. Right. Chad's story changed a lot. But Tammy supposedly was found face down. She had marks on her forehead and chest, supposedly. I want to know what the coroner's report says. I think we can safely throw Julie Rowe's version of anything out. Did you see Julie Rowe has a new boyfriend? Did you see that? Julie Rowe has a new boyfriend. She posted pictures with him. What? Like, he's a pretty decent looking guy. Percy, what do you have in your mouth? You're gonna have to wait. We'll go in a minute. We're almost done. Yeah, so, okay, wait, where am I? He saw an upgrade option, traded in Julie Rowe, took her schnick and upgraded to a different model. The Barbie. He got the Barbie model instead of the, I don't know, what doll would Julie Rowe even be a doll of any sort? Chad's story about Tammy's death changed before any of this was even out in the media. His versions came from this big blog website and his phone call with his sweet Melanie. Hi, sweet Melanie.
Hi, sweet Melanie.
Oh, this is important. Bully sticks are cheapest at Costco. There's 12 bully sticks that are 12 inches long in each package and only runs $33, which is huge steal. Okay, I have a Costco membership. I haven't been to the Costco out here though. I have to go find it. I don't think it's too far. That's good to know because those bully sticks keep them so busy. Like, they're just so busy when they have the bully sticks. So for sure, I need more. Chad's story about Tammy's death changed before any of this was even out in the media. As for where'd it go? I think my camera died. Let's switch. Hold on. Okay, I think my camera died. Did my camera die? Did I disappear for a second? And can you still hear me? Because you may not be able to hear me now. Can you hear me? I don't know. Can you hear me though? Can you hear me? Because I think my camera... No, it didn't die. I don't know what happened. My VPN is not on. It just went out for a minute. Blurry, but I can hear you. Okay, so I'm going to switch back. I switched the camera because I thought maybe it was the camera. It's probably my dogs. They're like, that and, you know, Chad Portal. Yeah, something. I know I did shut down my work computer because I know sometimes when they're competing, I usually keep it on, but I guess I shouldn't. It went on the fritz for 3 to 5 seconds, but fine now. Okay. I don't know. Usually it'll tell me like low battery or something, but it's still doing it. Yay, new cam. Okay. I'm good now? Okay, cool. I don't know what that was. It like the whole thing blanked out and I thought, oh, my camera died. And then I switched over to the webcam and then I thought, well, now you can't hear me. Anyways, we're good. We're almost done. We're 2 hours in, you guys. My friends tell me it's too long when I go 2 hours. They're like, it's too long. I'm like, you can sit here and talk to me and have a glass of wine for 2 hours, but you can't watch me on YouTube for 2 hours. Whatever. Okay, so I am going to wrap up and we will talk again soon. Oh, I didn't see you. I'm missing something in the chat. No thanks here. No thanks. Are you here? I didn't see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. I went out talking about chat. See, Percy's licking the walls. I didn't bring water in here for them, so I better wrap out. Okay. Yes, Robbie, get on it. Get on it. I'm never too long. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. 2 hours is fine on a Saturday morning. All right, good to know. I don't want to make you over, I mean, anybody can leave anytime. You don't have to stay, but, if it's too long. I've had people in comment say it's too long, but, I mean, you're not really missing anything if you leave. We're just having a conversation. It's like leaving somebody at a party in the middle of a conversation. You just leave. You miss the rest of the conversation. Okay. It's a sign to end it on that topic, right? Exactly. Yes, so we'll be back. I will be back next Saturday. Again, I probably can do it, and I will do one this week during the week, just a catch-up video, quick. I try to make them 30 to 45 minutes at the most, around 5 p.m. right after work. And if you like the shorts, I'll keep doing the shorts. They're just about a random news story, and I put a short up there. And if you like them, I will keep doing them. Let me know. Somebody named Karen Jennifer said they were stupid, and she unsubscribed to my channel because of my shorts. Okay, sorry to bother you on this free platform for you to not watch something that you don't want to watch. Anyway, so if you want me to do the shorts, I will, still doing them as well. And I really appreciate all of you. I thank you so much. I'm looking at the chat, see if there's anything I'm missing. And, thank you so much, POM. You like my new podcast. And if you haven't listened to it, please listen to it. I did put a copy of it on YouTube, but it's on all the podcasts. You can go Apple, Spotify, Stitcher. And I really want to make that podcast grow as well. All right? And it's easier to edit because I don't have to edit video footage. So I can do them a little bit faster. All right, have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you all. Thank you, everyone who donated, everybody who subscribed, my new members, all the mods. Really, really appreciate you. Thank you for being here, and I will see you soon. Stay safe, stay well. Bye.